The mid-season championships are upon us, and the CRA Street Stocks presented by EDCO Welding and Hydrolics Service are getting set to go with 50 laps of action here at the Plymouth Speedway, July 24th, 2011. Chad Porman will start on the pole for this evening's 50-lap event for the Street Stocks. To the outside, Jimmy Kirby. Troy Moyer in 777 from the inside of row 2. On the outside of row 2, the 95 of Brian Hopkins, Rick Segvich, and Dave Bice will go from the third row. J.J. Schaefer, Eddie Wolf, Sean Amor, and Jeff Lane, the top 10 starters. Pace truck is pulled to the infield. We are going to be off and racing for 50 laps. The green flag is out. We're racing at Plymouth. Almost 3 wide on the initial start down the backstretch. Chad Porman still battling with Jimmy Kirby. No clear-cut leader. Off the fourth corner, Chad Porman is going to go into the race lead. Troy Moyer to the inside of Kirby for second. Moyer's going to get the position. He'll set sail. 3 wide now for the third spot. Bice to the inside. Hopkins in the middle. Kirby in the outside lane. Sean Amor, J.J. Schaefer battling for 6th and 7th. Dave Bice now pulls up alongside Hopkins. Kirby drops back in line. Dave Bice in 71, nosing ahead of Hopkins. Hopkins pulls alongside down the backstretch. Amor, the 28, gets ahead of Kirby. Now Schaefer's going to take a look to the bottom. Dave Bice now solidly into third. Amor trying to make a bid now for fourth. Amor, the 28, pulls alongside Hopkins. Hopkins trying to power his way along in the outside lane. Sean Amor looking like he's got a little bit better car on the bottom. He's going to get the spot. Hopkins now back to fifth. Troy Moyer in the 777 took a look to the bottom of Chad Porman, but now Dave Bice in the 71 takes a look to the top shelf of Moyer. Side by side for second down the front stretch. Clean and green through the first 5 circuits, 45 to go. Dave Bice trying to clear Moyer and get around Chad Porman on the top side. All kinds of racing action here up front. Good racing throughout the field. Bice on the top side trying to get around Porman. Amor at 28 is there as well. Porman in the 7 still trying to fend off Dave Bice. Bice in the Blaine Miller Road Service car from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Moyer battling with Amor for third. Hopkins sits 5th, Kirby 6th, Schaefer 7th. 8th, Ryan Eminette, battle for 9th. Jeff Lane and Eddie Wolf. Up front, they still continue to battle. Troy Moyer in the 777 had a good look on the bottom. Does he have enough to get around Porman? Bice in the 71's there as well. Good racing here up front early. 10 laps complete. Porman the leader. Bice into second. Moyer third. Amor fourth. Hopkins fifth. Moyer still trying to find a way around Bice for second. Hopkins in 95 trying to just sit back and idle a little bit, waiting for these top 4 cars to single file out. Kirby taking another look to the inside of Hopkins. Schaefer trying to hold off Eminette, Lane, and Wolf. Josh Poor back there battling with Mark Mason as well. Schaefer in 68, got into the back of the 11 of Kirby for just a second. Now Amor took a look to the outside. Single file all but for this lead battle. Dave Bice with a power move in the outside lane trying to get around Chad Porman. Dave Bice in 71 tries to clear Porman down the backstretch. Indeed he will. Porman into the back of Bice's car a little bit. Now Amor will take it to the outside of Moyer. Kirby to the inside of Hopkins. That's a battle for the number 5 position. Kirby trying to find all he can do to get around the Newcastle, Indiana driver, Brian Hopkins. Kirby in the 11, Hopkins the 95. This the battle for 5th. Sitting in 7th is Schaefer. Schaefer looking away around both of them. Amonette in 21, Schaefer 68, Jeff Lane 73. Seventh Schaefer, 8th Amonette, 9th Lane, 10th Wolf, 11th Josh Poor, 12th Mark Mason, 13th Rick Segvich. "20 laps complete, 30 to go. Going to have 21 complete this time when they cross the line. Sean Amor in the 28. Trying to find a way around the 777 of Troy Moyer. That's a battle for a podium spot. That's the battle indeed for 3rd. Seeing some smoke coming out of the 28 car, Sean Amor. Possibly a tire going down or something going on in the rear end of that machine. Going to see how that plays out. Meanwhile, Amor still holding the number 5 spot. Jeremy Kirby in the 11 trying to close in. Jeff Lane to the inside of Brian Amonette. No avail. Halfway that time by. 25 in, 25 to go. Amor now to the inside of Moyer. This the battle for 4th. Amor into the back of the 777 of Moyer. Problems for both race cars. The smoke continues to worsen on the 28 car of Amor. Looking like a tire definitely cut down on that machine. Yellow flag out, 25 in, 25 to go. Come back to green flag racing. The field rounds corners number 3 and 4. We're off and racing again at Plymouth. Dave Bice back out into the race lead. Chad Porman trying to make a power move, trying to fend off Jimmy Kirby. Brian Hopkins in 95 in the top shelf, battling there as well. Oh, Hopkins and Kirby touch just briefly. A little bit of a wrinkle fender on the right rear of the number 11 machine, but both cars hold their places. Hopkins still working on that outside left. Jeff Lane has now joined the fight in 73. Jeff Lane with the preferred lane in that bottom groove, trying to make a bid for the 4th spot around Hopkins. Schaefer in 68, sitting at 6th, waiting for these 2 cars to sort it out ahead of him. Eddie Wolf, the 93, trying to get around Josh Bohr. Indeed, he does. Wolf had a fantastic race car here, back part of the Cabin Fever 200 in April. Mark Mason, the 88, and the other Blaine Miller Road Service car trying to get around Rick Segvich. Looks like Mason's going to clearing down the front stretch. Dave Bice trying to check out up front, about a half a straightaway advantage. His lead over second place Chad Porman. Porman still trying to fend off Kirby. Jeff Lane's put his car into the number 4 spot. Hopkins back to 5th. Battle still for 6th as Eddie Wolf works to the inside of J.J. Schaefer. Schaefer trying to fend him off in the high lane. Wolf's got the preferred groove on the bottom. Wolf's probably going to clear him down the front stretch. Indeed he will. Eddie Wolf up into 6th. Schaefer back to 7th. Poor 8th. Mason 9th. Segvich 10th. Battle back for 11th. Ryan Amonette in 21 trying to fend off a couple of cars. Troy Moyer in the 777 car trying to work his way back up to the field. Kirby in the 11 took another look to the inside of Portman. Portman leaving that bottom groove open just a little bit, leaving all kinds of room there for Kirby. Kirby with a look to the bottom. Portman slams the door. Now Kirby with another look to the inside down the backstretch. Portman looked like he's got a little bit better race car down the straightaway, but Kirby gets right back to him in the corner. Single file through the most of the field, but now Eddie Wolf in the 93 took a look for just a second for the number 5 spot to the inside of Hopkins. Hopkins slams the door. Problems for the 21 of Ryan Eminette. He takes that car to the infield. A tough break for that driver. Up front, though, Dave Bice still continues to lead. Eddie Wolf in 93 still all over the back bumper of Brian Hopkins. Wolf in the 93 still all over the back bumper of Hopkins. This time by 10 to go. 10 laps to go. Dave Bice, your race leader. Portman still second. Kirby in third, trying to fend off Lane in fourth. Battle still back for fifth. Wolf taking another look to the inside of Hopkins. Hopkins doing a good job fending him off. J.J. Scheufer is joining the fight as well. Schaefer and Poor sit 7th and 8th. Mason 9th, Segvich 10th still. Lane taking a look to the outside of Kirby for third. Lane with a power move in that outside lane. Down the backstretch, side by side they work. Jeff Lane making a statement in that outside lane, put him into third. But he's only got 7 laps to try to run down Portman for second. And Dave Bice, who's well out in front of this one. This time by 5 laps to go. 45 in. Yellow caution flag going to come out. Problems for Josh Carroll in the number 19 machine on the back straightaway as he loops it around. Yellow flag out. Going to only be a handful of laps remaining in this one when the field goes back green. Here we go, final 5 laps, coming to green off of corner number 4. Dave Bice with a great jump is going to get out front. Jeff Lane immediately to the bottom with Chad Portman for second. Jimmy Kirby in fourth, going to drop back in line. Jeff Lane, a man on a mission. Lane still battling with Portman. Portman trying to make that outside lane work, coming to 4 to go. Lane still battles with Portman. Lane's going to clear him down the front stretch, and now Lane's got 4 laps to get to Dave Bice. Does Lane have enough? Jeff Lane has had a strong street stock all season long. Jimmy Kirby takes now a look to the inside of Portman for number 3 position. Portman slams the door. Hopkins still sitting in 5th, kind of sitting in line. He's trying to fend off Eddie Wolf. Two to go, signal is in the air that time by. A lap and a half, the amount of time Jeff Lane has. Dirt tracking it a little bit, coming to the white flag. Long time Northern Indiana racing veteran Dave Bice trying to hang on. Down the back straightaway they work. The Blaine Miller Road Service, car number 71 out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Dave Bice going to take the victory. Jeff Lane second, Chad Portman third, Jimmy Kirby fourth, and Brian Hopkins will round out the top 5. What a race for the EDCO Welding and Hydrolics Service CRA Street Stocks. Dave Bice taking the win tonight in the Summer Championship 50.